Right on schedule, the Chinese room have given us Dev Diary 18, Building Our Seattle. This is an extension of Dev Diary 8, in which they talked about the neo-noir influences. This time around, they're featuring Seattle, the heart of the game, according to project creative director Alex Skidmore. And he tells us we will return to the streets of Seattle and its shops time and time again between missions and for missions. So presumably, most quests will take place in discrete areas, accessed by starting that mission, not necessarily traversing Seattle to get there. It's also where you get to hunt and break the masquerade if you so desire. The first image they give us is of Weaver Tower, lit in a horrible blue-green light. Yep, neo-noir again. Though it does set the tone for the area as the seat of power for the Camarilla, and it looks suitably austere and foreboding. One of their key points is to build the masquerade and the vampire's traversal abilities directly into everything you're doing in Seattle by letting you use your absurdly fast dash and break the masquerade or hide in the shadows. The building they showed just after this is where you are likely to find Isabella. And I must say, that is just an awful lot of pink and red. So this might be a really good place to do some of that roof traversal. Though apparently there's an awful lot of roof space controlled by the Anarchs, and they're not going to be your friends, certainly not to start with. After this image of the glacier, where you're going to find Lou, they let us know how they've taken the time to make each area its own distinct personality. And that goes for the NPCs you're going to meet in each district. And of course, we have our requisite strip clubs, but the important part here is that they have populated the world with people going about their business, a world that you just happen to be a part of. They explain that you might find someone running from the cops, someone trying to steal a car, maybe some prostitutes, much of which it would seem you can interact with or simply watch happen. And at Wake the Dead, you can talk to Mrs. Thorne or maybe run into Sophia. The thing I like about this image is you can see through the windows. Now that's a nice touch which you rarely see in a video game, where you can actually look in a store and see what's inside. And here they talk about how you can use Bruja-approved hand gestures or proposition a sex worker and get turned down because you didn't wear the right clothing. Hey, if you're going to walk the streets, you got to have standards, right? I do like the idea of being able to talk to NPCs, interact with the world, and have some sort of impact, a positive or negative. What they don't tell us is these events, say someone running away from the cops, can you stop the person? Can you help the cops? Or can you hinder them? Can you find that person breaking into a car and stop them from doing that? And what impact will that have on the masquerade? However, this will certainly help make areas more interesting and not just be some unique looking window dressing. This is a feature that did not exist in Bloodlines 1, and I hope they do it really well. Next up, we get more official acknowledgement of neo-noir and how the real-life photography of Nick Miller has influenced their design and development of Seattle. I've followed the link to this guy's website, and he takes some pretty nifty photographs of New York. Following on from this point, they tell us how they've spent time exaggerating certain features of buildings to give them a sense of heightened reality. In addition, they've made sure you can't go to the top of every skyscraper and stay away from all those weirdos down there on the streets. The idea is for you to mix it up with all the common non-vampire folks, have your chance at destroying the masquerade, or being all sneaky and having fun munching on folks. Next, we get an interior shot of the Dutchman, where, as they put it, you can meet all kinds of bikers and punks and possibly Silky. I can just imagine how ear-popping and seizure-inducing this place is gonna be. Wonder if we can start a bar fight. And they tell us that they use a product called Houdini, which provides them with models for many of their structures, their storefronts, alleys, walkways, and the such. They then combine this with a more handcrafted approach so that they give every area its own unique feel. Again, I really hope they pull this off and they make each area filled with little side quests and little incidentals that you can interact with that do bring Seattle alive and not just the place you're playing the game. And lastly, they show us what's upcoming. October 9th gets us an article on hunting and feeding. The 23rd is blood resources. And for November 6th, it's fashion. Kind of hoping they show a little more character creation and character models in this one. So what are your thoughts? Give us some comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.